Hello friends, welcome to the Movieology channel. Fourth episode starts when Seok Hui arrives at Eugene Hospital. Walking in, he notices an old woman and two other people nearby before parking his car. Inside, Seok Hui meets his assistant, who's preparing a coffin for a body. He instructs the assistant to prepare the body carefully. While the assistant works on the body, she hears strange noises that terrify her, making her feel as though the body is alive. Seok Hye reassures her, explaining that the sounds are just gases escaping from the body, a common phenomenon. He then advises her to apologize to the deceased, emphasizing that a body, even in death, deserves respect. She complies and also contacts the family to notify them about the body. Once the assistant leaves, Seok Hui closely examines the body. Suddenly, he hears the woman's voice, asking in disbelief if she's dead. Seok Hui calmly confirms it and speaks to her spirit like this kind of conversation is normal. The woman expresses concern for her daughter and struggles to accept her death. Seok Hui, unfazed, gently encourages her to let go. After consoling her, he places her body with the others. It's then revealed that her name is Jung Yoo Hee, and her spirit, still weeping, lingers in the room. Meanwhile, Young Ji begins her night shift at the hospital. She sees the old woman, who was seen by Seok Hui before, but the woman vanishes moments later. As Young Ji walks from the parking lot to the elevator, she feels someone following her. She turns around, but no one is there. Just as she's about to press a button inside the elevator, a drenched man named Shung Won steps in. His face is filled with fear, and he tells her he's headed to the 8th floor. Young Ji explains that only hospital staff are allowed on the 8th floor at night because it's the ICU. When Shung Won learns she works there, he asks about accident victims. She explains that their survival depends on their inner willpower. Moved by her words, Shung Won begins to cry. Young Ji notices water dripping from his head as she tries to console him. The elevator starts filling with water, and she begins to drown, but as soon as the elevator doors open on the 8th floor, everything returns to normal. Young Ji quickly changes into her uniform and visits a coma patient. She places earphones on him, playing music to stir hope in his subconscious. Meanwhile, Detective Sung Sik visits Won Young's shop, looking for a man with piercing tiger-like eyes. Won Young denies seeing such a person, but Sung Sik feels uneasy, sensing something is amiss. As he prepares to leave, Won Young offers him a place to wait out the rain, suggesting the man might show up. At the hospital, Young Ji remembers an alcoholic patient known for talking to himself. She decides to move him to another room. On their way, the patient apologizes for his drinking problem, saying he's been trying to quit but can't. He believes his strange visions are due to his alcoholism. Young Ji sees a figure standing near him, confirming that both can perceive these eerie presences. She explains to him that heavy drinking or severe trauma can cause hallucinations. She describes the ICU as a place between life and death, where patients hover on the edge of recovery or passing on. After settling the patient, he asks her to leave the light on, admitting he fears the dark. Young Ji sits with him and shares a personal story from her childhood about surviving a terrible accident. The experience enabled her to see strange figures, but she never told anyone, fearing no one would believe her. Young Ji realizes she has a unique ability to see spirits. One day, she encountered a conscious patient weighed down by debt, who had gone to the extreme of burying himself alive to protect his family. This act left him in a mysterious state, with soil sometimes seeping from his ears. Similar strange occurrences had happened at Won Young's light shop. Young Ji had always been dedicated to lifting her patients' spirits. While she continues her work at the hospital, the story cuts to Hyunju, who is on her way home following Won Young's advice from the last episode. On her journey, she runs into Ji Young, who has a friendly conversation. Hyunju, however, has already figured out that Ji-young isn't quite what she seems, a stranger in every sense. Ji-young curiously asks why Hyunju keeps going to the light shop, to which Hyunju simply replies that she's buying light bulbs for her mother. Feeling uneasy, Hyunju makes an excuse to leave and rushes home. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, doctors are clustered around a patient in critical condition. His survival seems medically impossible, yet for reasons they can't explain, he remains alive. The scene grows more mysterious as an unseen figure watches the doctors from outside, their identity concealed. The story shifts again, showing familiar faces from past episodes walking toward the light shop. At the same time, young Ji is in the hospital, placing earphones on every patient and playing soothing music. It's revealed that the strange figures seen near the light shop and dark alley are hospital patients, most of whom are in comas. Ji-young, Seon-hae, Detective Sung-sik, Byung-jin, and Hyun-min lie in their hospital beds, trapped in a limbo, a mysterious place between life and death. This eerie limbo exists between earth and heaven, with the light shop as part of this enigmatic world. In this realm, nights stretch endlessly. The focus shifts back to Hyunju, who arrives home to find her mother sitting in worry. Hyunju shares her unsettling experiences, describing the strange people she saw and the odd things that happened. The house's trash bin is already filled with broken bulbs. Her visibly troubled mother says they don't need a bulb today. Hyunju, sensing her mother's distress, hugs her tightly. At that moment, Hyunju notices a faint floral fragrance from her mother. The scene transitions to a seok-hue, where a man carefully decorates a woman's coffin with flowers. As the camera reveals the woman's face, it's a heartbreaking revelation. It's Hyunju's mother. This devastating truth confirms that Hyunju's mother has passed away. Something tragic happened to both of them, leaving Hyunju in a coma. Her mother, Jung Yoo-hee, is taken for burial. Her earlier comment about not needing a bulb now makes sense. Their light had already gone out. Despite this, her mother's deepest wish was for Hyunju to survive. The bulbs, in essence, were symbols of Hyunju's life and the hope that her spirit would endure. In the final moments, Ji-young stands quietly, observing outside Hyunju and Jung Yoo-hee's. Now revealed as a spirit, Ji-young starts to piece together the connections between everyone she's encountered. But she feels an unsettling sense of isolation, questioning why she's alone and unfamiliar in this web of connections. This realization hints at her condition, either in a coma or having passed on. The episode closes on this haunting, reflective note,